Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Invincible episode 7, We Need to Talk. Very ominous. Let's see what's going on in this episode. Leave a like and subscribe. Let's go. Check out Patreon to see the finale right now.
Guys, help me! Oh, Mark, you piece of shit, ran away. Fuck you.
Where the hell?
Super awkward car ride.
I mean, yeah. She boils it on her own. Why don't you just like fix your back?
No. Maybe she did. It's a vineyard that she saved.
Now so many rich people will have their wine. She's really making a difference.
What if Mark came home right now?
I used it to take care of Damien Darkblood, but maybe part of me wanted you to find it too.
After 20 years together, I deserve to know the truth.
What story are you gonna spin
I
now?
wanted to tell you months ago.
Was someone controlling you? Were you blackmailed? Did they threaten me or Mark?
No,
Then why?
you need to trust me. If you can do that, we'll be okay. Mark too.
What?
Everything.
Normally I would have been able to trust you.
I trust you now.
Because you know me.
There's a lot of things I thought I knew about you. The Guardians were our friends. You killed
I
them.
had no choice.
I don't believe that. You said you wanted to tell me months ago, but you're still not telling me now. No, I don't trust you. Not anymore. You broke that. If you don't have anything else to say, you need to leave.
He's not even spinning a story.
Get out of my house.
You don't mean that.
Get out of my house!
We'll talk later.
He's not even, he didn't even try to like spin a story.
Listen to me.
You could leave a message, but wouldn't you rather text me?
Mark. it's
What, are you
Mom.
too busy
Come
being
home.
ignored by your ex-girlfriend?
Oh,
Oh shit. They heard all of
I'm
it.
sorry, but you have to come with us. There's no time.
I guess Nolan didn't know his house was bugged? Or he didn't consider it?
I guess so.
Come on, this is dumb. No,
Oh my god.
Just let her go.
Just let her go.
It's not
you're right.
working.
I've been an asshole and...
No, you haven't. You just, she's just not the right one for you, bro. Just leave it.
Amber, I'm in...
Alright, and then she was removed from the story and we never heard from her again. Okay.
She's gonna come flying through the window. Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh my god, bruh.
I don't know. Mars, I wanted to tell you so many times. Did you hear what I just said?
I know
It's
you're a
too
superhero.
late.
You know. You know?
I'm not an idiot. I figured it out weeks ago.
Why are we fighting?
We're fighting because you lied to me. You made me feel stupid and unimportant.
It's a secret identity.
And because you don't trust me.
I'm trusting you
Holy
now.
fuck.
I mean, it's cute. You think that's enough.
So wait, she knew the whole, so all this thing of like, oh, well, she doesn't know. That's why she's being like, you know, unreasonable. It's because she doesn't have all the information. She had all the information. And she's fully making it all about her. Just no consideration.
Oh, you lied to me. It's like, bro, I've
Oh
been
my
dating you for
God.
like 2 weeks. I never even talked to you before that.
She returns victorious.
Well.
At least she's alright.
It's about
Yeah.
time we start partying now.
It's 10 a.m.
We're the guardians of the globe, baby. If we get
Milk party. Like,
I put your picture on this side.
Haha, cute. But I'm lactose intolerant.
Whoa, hold on. Do you know me at all? I filled them with beer. You're welcome.
It's gonna be milk. Good.
Guess how long it took me
that would have been funny.
to milk you wasted.
I poured it all down the drain.
What an asshole.
How come I get my head beaten into week in the hospital hospital, you get your head beaten and your powers come back.
I think his karma was putting up with this guy.
You're welcome.
See, now he's a good guy.
I wouldn't be recovered if it wasn't for you. You saved my life.
Of course, I would never let you die. 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 My apologies.
Prying it open with a Phillips head screwdriver. Oh my god. Can I get another minute?
Oh. Something coming to that place.
You, get out of the truck.
A real guy? Hypnotized or something?
Get out of the...
Step back, please.
Very dramatic entrance.
Oh, is that the real him?
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
calm down. I believe you can answer that question on your own.
It's the real robot.
Yeah.
Well done. Perhaps you're the
A
original.
little clap.
We've been growing you a new body.
Show me your work. Except for the timed release mycotoxin sacs, the embedded cortical override, and the 8 synaptic transceivers. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I prefer to be the only person in control of my body. Please. A small upgrade of my own design, and we can discuss your payment.
Let's discuss
fuck
our
is that?
payment, and we'll do all of that.
A Global Defense Agency control collar placates the strongest of wills, a highly restricted technology. A little trust goes a long way.
Actions go further.
There. I am alone and helpless.
Yes. Helpless. I doubt it. Do what he wants.
Nice.
Is it gonna be weird that he's gonna look exactly the same as the other guy?
When I see one.
As Rex?
Yesterday was messed up. Is Rick ever gonna be okay? God, what that Sinclair guy was doing to people.
It was pretty messed up.
They'll help Rick. I gotta say it. If you had helped me find him right away, none of this would have ever happened.
I know. That's true. I suck.
Figures. I finally fall for someone and then, boom, cyborg. So this is why I've hardly seen you the last 6 months. Because you're a superhero.
Not anymore.
What? Why?
Because I'm a terrible friend and a worse boyfriend. Because I got everything I ever wanted and I messed it all up. Should have listened to my dad.
Your dad?
Omni-man.
Oh, of course. Your dad's Omni-Man. How did I never see that? Okay, stop. Enough with the sulking, you big baby.
What?
You can fly. You're invulnerable. Your dad's the greatest superhero on Earth, and your mom loves and cares about you. You just need to study, and you can.
Just need to check your phone.
Boyfriend to Amber.
Yeah.
You got what you deserved. Sorry, not sorry. If I can deal with almost losing the hottest guy I've ever had, you can deal with this.
Yeah, this is like not even close.
I just got dumped, dude.
You got dumped weeks ago. You just didn't realize it. You're like a bad guy in a samurai movie who gets cut in half but thinks they're fine until they're like, oh my god, my top half's sliding away from my bottom half.
You just wasted the whole burger.
I love you, man. But I need someone else to talk to.
Wow. His boyfriend literally got almost killed, permanently mutilated, and then you and your girlfriend just didn't work out because both of you are kind of shitty.
Because she's such a bitch. I don't think there's anything wrong with him.
No.
How could you know and not tell me?
I couldn't risk Nolan finding out we knew. Not until we figured out what he was doing and how to stop him. We failed on both those counts, by the way.
What do you mean stop him? Do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean, stop him? He
I'm not sure we could kill him. Not us, anyway.
But your son.
One person I know who might be able to go toe-to-toe with Omni-Man and come out on top, Debbie.
No, never. You can't.
Where's Mark, Debbie? Where's...
There's more and more blood each time.
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
It was a less significant amount before.
Killed the Guardians of the Globe. Wait, before you say anything, just listen, please.
Practicing?
No, yeah, no.
I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but it had to be done.
Well, yeah, sure.
It was my responsibility.
Must be a good reason.
Other people won't understand that, but I know you can.
Yeah.
What I'm about to tell you will change everything.
There must be like a really good reason.
Than...
More than anything but myself.
What am I doing?
I didn't design it to be drained or ever opened.
What changed?
I met someone. Make room, please.
He fell in love.
Hurry, please.
I'm
Air's
dying.
toxic to me. It burns my lungs.
Don't make a face. You lost the coin toss.
I wonder if he looks like human, right? Like, just fucked up, but like,
Yeah.
maybe you're just a mad scientist experiment gone
My
wrong.
entire life has been painful.
Oh, maybe not.
You realize this procedure doesn't transfer you to the new body. It creates a copy of
Fuck.
For you, nothing will change. For him, everything will.
I understand.
Oh. So it's just like them, how it's like they don't know who's the original because
That's so sad. Yeah, that's the problem with this type of thing. It's like you can't, you know, unless it's like a brain transplant. And even then, maybe it would be different.
Of course, his brain's abnormal. You didn't think of that? Look at it. Shut up, will you? We've all been eaten alive by his oversized cerebrum.
So he's gonna completely change.
The system wasn't designed for neurons this dense.
You didn't even scan before starting the process?
He was in there and they didn't see him till like 5 minutes ago.
I mean, if his brain structure is fundamentally different, he's gonna be a different person completely. He might not be as smart if his cerebral cortex is not as developed.
Which am I?
See? It's not just us. You won the coin toss, champ. You're the new one.
I wasn't expecting this feeling of continuance. I closed my eyes and opened new ones. I didn't know which one I'd be.
That's how it works.
It's kind of
We have to
freaky.
make it seamless. Otherwise, one of us knows he's the clone, and that never ends well. In your case, it's a little more obvious. But it looks like that problem took care of itself.
Died.
Fuck.
No going back. Or not.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry it wasn't you. Don't be happy. Change the world. Experience everything we never could. What are you waiting for? This was always the plan. I can put you back in the pod. We can both survive. Change the world together. This is what I want. Please.
So sad.
It was an act of mercy.
We know. We do it all the time. Now, our schematics.
That was so sad.
The cryptographic key is the entire text of Frankenstein.
Look who has a sense of humor after all.
Now that our deal is complete, it's time you both return to prison.
He's serious.
I've had 3 dozen
He's
drones
also a
circling this place for the last 5
teenage
hours.
No, I'm a 30-year-old genius in a teenage boy's body.
with a neural link chip you just installed for me.
So he can still control all of his robot bodies.
That's why he relates to Monster Girl. He's now put himself in the exact same position as her.
I think he might have done that on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Robot is the best character in the show, aside from Nolan.
Mark? Debbie?
Thought she'd just be like waiting around for him.
Cecil.
Okay.
Oh no.
All bets are off.
There's no point.
The home is destroyed.
That was disgusting.
There's thematic importance here. The home is destroyed.
You just gave it all away.
Fuck.
Maybe you should have set up a little bit farther away.
Family?
No, it was for your family's protection.
You were always so pathetic, Donald.
Were.
Little lapdog.
Run now!
Oh, shit.
Ow!
It's been an honor, sir. Who are you talking to?
Oh no. Oh God. Nolan. You monster.
He's not dead.
Did you
Even
see
after
that?
evacuating the neighborhood, we had to keep the yield down. Best it'll do is knock him on his ass for an hour or two.
No,
No.
not even close.
May not even hurt him at all.
The
Has
guy's
like
spine.
spine fragments in his
And there's
hand.
still blood because
I
it
don't
was
know
like
who
in.
Nolan is anymore. I don't know what he's going to do.
You never knew who he was, clearly.
Find Mark first.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Hey, Eve.
Oh. So I'm helping you today.
It's kind of messed up he double-crossed him, but I mean, these guys are...
Yeah.
Are they evil? What do they do? I mean,
They were
they
trying to like destroy everything.
they tried to destroy the White House or whatever that was, but... I don't know what their ambitions are, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, do they have goals? They're just, like, being
They wanted
clones.
those collars that could like control people. So I'm not sure what they.
Ah, shit.
What the hell was that? Omni, Mr. Grayson. Are you okay? You look kind of, recently on fire.
Where's Mark, William? You were supposed to drop him off an hour ago.
Amber dumped him, and he didn't like my advice, so he went to go find Eve.
Call him.
Sure.
Phone's broken. There was this attack at the college, and all of a sudden...
Where's Eve?
That's not blood on you, is it?
Just ignore it.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it.
And now, flee the country.
But be quiet. Just sit tight until I call on you, and hope to hell I don't have to.
Call?
Hey, we're not your
about
kids in the back.
Hide. I don't know.
So what the hell's going on?
I said sit tight.
Cecil, you're
Oh,
like,
come
there's
on.
nothing they could.
I
Oh, I guess he's
mean,
just. You could be fodder while we get something else ready.
Yeah. Stay in your pen. He can come there and kill you.
down?
He's done it before.
You know what he needs? He needs one of those spinning ball things so we know he's still alive.
I'm very much alive. More so now than ever.
Me?
The fuck?
Who the hell are you?
You all know me as Robot, but my real name is Rudolph Connors, so I'd prefer if you called me Rudy. The robot you knew before was simply a drone I controlled remotely.
What?
How do we know you're telling the truth?
Ask me something only Robot would know.
Why the fuck do you look like me? Why the fuck do you look like me?
That is a much longer story. One that can wait until whatever crisis this is has been resolved.
No. Forget the crisis. You can explain now.
You could have picked anyone.
Why'd you pick Rex? Should have picked Mark.
Can't you use your teleporter to bring Mark and Eve back here?
You need to be wearing one of these, and it can't do us all at once. We need to buy some time first. Let's bring the hammer down.
This is bad. This is very, 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 very bad.
Thought once I told her the truth, we'd be good.
He's not ready to fight his dad. He's not even close.
Naive, maybe.
Mentally or physically.
Yeah.
You know, like not even
They
close.
didn't tell you to string her along for 5 months while being an asshole about it. Thought you'd figure that part out yourself.
How is he being an ass? Like everyone, the story keeps saying he's an asshole. I don't see how he was being an asshole. He's just being a normal person and trying to do his best.
And with Rex for much longer than that.
Now you're this.
I'm still Adam Eve, and I've saved more lives in the last 3 days than I did in the last 3 years.
W.
And trust me, being out here is an upgrade to living with my parents.
Looks like it to me.
Mom, though.
You wouldn't dare.
Just gravity beam.
Is that lightning?
No, it's from a satellite, I think. Oh my god!
What did...
They just popped off of the animation. Are we gonna ignore that? That was insane. Satellite beam.
Wow.
But it has a battery.
It's probably still not gonna do
It's a
anything.
giant, like, concentrated solar beam thing. Like, it's Venusaur. Rip.
That's so sad.
Just dropping all the
The
same
environmental
PNGs.
damage.
It's like they just popped off of the animation, then just dropped a bunch of PNGs of the same PNG of a crow like 30
He's gonna
times.
go and kill that.
Just go like this. Oh, he doesn't give a shit.
You wanna know what? I thought that the Guardians of the Globe were kind of weak, but the fact that they were able to beat him up that much.
Oh yeah.
They're
insanely
like
strong.
retroactively power scaling them, you know?
$400 billion for the world's most expensive nosebleed.
Wow.
Power up the teleporter.
You said we couldn't teleport them yet.
It's not for them.
He's gonna go directly. He's sacrificing himself.
Left for here as quickly as I could. Any questions?
Yeah, a few. First, why me? I mean, sure.
Why
I
me?
get that, but why specifically me? And second,
Did Monster Girl like call him hot or something when earlier?
It's messed up.
You didn't even ask first.
That's what you think?
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
There is so much wrong with did it for me.
What?
We were both prisoners in our own bodies. I escaped my prison. Now I'll help you escape yours.
No! Don't give him any sympathy. He still hasn't told me why.
Let's just calm down.
You're ruining my childhood, and that's hard because it already sucked.
I adapted your DNA because I noticed Monster Girl found you interesting.
Oh my god, I don't even know how to feel about that.
That is pretty weird.
Damn it,
That's pretty, I mean,
Robot.
that's pretty
Will you
weird.
please stop fucking me up.
So you lied to us about who you really were, freed the Maulers from prison, stole Rex's DNA, conspired with criminals to grow yourself a new body, and you expect us all to be like, oh sure.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Yes, I mean, I did.
Hey! I know why Cecil's holding us at high alert.
Oh shit.
Good thing someone's paying attention.
Thank God for that.
What is that?
Oh shit.
I'll tell you what that is. Not our problem
I
anymore.
thought she
We should
might have
check
seen
in
like
with
the big
Cecil.
beam
Forget it.
destroying.
I'm done with all
everything.
that. So are you.
We should check in with Cecil.
I needed to start over, but that doesn't mean ignoring the world when it needs me.
The world was fine before I came along. It'll be.
I thought they were gonna get along a lot better than they are.
I get that you're feeling shitty because Amber dumped you, but trust me, you'll feel worse if you sit here and do nothing when you could save lives.
I doubt it.
Fine. But I'm going.
Okay. Now he's being kind of an asshole.
Oh.
Oh boy.
You thought that could hurt me?
No. That was just to get your attention. Jesus, Nolan, right for the throat. After everything that we've been through.
Keep out of this, Cecil.
It's hard to when you're trying to kill me.
Can't do that, Nolan. I just want to know why every one of the Guardians risked their necks for you.
I never needed their help. They were weak.
They were your friends. And so was I. Which is why I know you didn't kill him for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
You had a reason.
What was it?
You want to get it off your chest? Fine. Don't tell me. But what about Debbie, huh?
It's too pathetic
Doesn't
to
she deserve an
say.
answer?
That's what it is. It's so pathetic he can't admit it.
Why not? You hurt her, not me. She and I have that in common now. I'm a good liar. I'm a very good liar. But you're better. You fooled her.
You can't stop me.
Yeah, you're right. But I can do the same thing I've been doing since I figured out you were a lying piece of shit. I can buy us a little more time.
Holy shit. What is this? Pods? Oh, yeah. I wonder who those are. They use chimps?
Are they the same guys that were already in there?
Yeah, maybe. Oh my god. This is the most we've seen him sweat ever. Holy shit! They're really, like, wow, like, he just destroyed a sunbeam satellite and these things are like, just make like 50 more of them.
Yeah.
What are those things?
Dead soldiers, serving their country one last time, thanks to that monster over there.
Yeah,
Wow.
Operation Paperclip. Operation fucking Paperclip. They Werner von Brauned him. Oh my god.
Even Invincible are back on the move. Intercept in 4 minutes. Shit.
You're gonna have time to make a few more. He made Mark or fucking whatever his name was.
In like 2 seconds.
William's boyfriend in literally like an hour he made him into one.
Get him out of here. Serious? And feed her this.
Hail Mary?
Was that big thing that they were talking about before that was like, oh, that like squid or octopus?
Oh yeah.
It's charged. I built it exactly to the schematics. Good. How do we know he'll revive?
Oh.
Cecil couldn't bring him back.
Fuck.
Cecil's an idiot.
That's why they have that.
He's not called the Immortal for
collar
nothing.
thing.
I'll get the
The Immortal. They dug him up. You should have threw them both at once, honestly.
Yeah, or like a little bit sooner.
Sure. But we removed his pain center and juiced it up with every drug enhancement and upgrade we had.
Oh shit!
All that really pissed it off. And it blames you. Good luck.
He's just gonna try and leave. He literally was trying to skip it like a Dark Souls mob.
Moving in on Omniman's fight.
Oh god.
Hey, well-
Now, are they gonna try and help him?
Oh, they're
Oh no, news.
We need to go help.
Whoa!
Keep your asses parked until I tell you to unpark them. If this all goes south, you're our last hope against Omni-Man.
They're like, what?
Whoa. Did he just say we're his last hope against Omni-Man?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, fuck. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to the last hope against Omni-Man.
Now that you mention it, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, this is looking promising, actually. For now. What if Mark shows up and then tries to help him out?
I think that they're gonna be on the way and Cecil's not gonna be able to tell them.
Mark's with Eve again. Call her phone.
Yeah, did no one try to like call her before? You absolute fucking morons.
I'm here to help. Just here to make sure you don't get hurt.
Well, then you shouldn't have come. Jesus, Mark, you sound just like my dad.
Oh no!
Seriously? No!
The communication is fucked right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark.
You mean Invincible? It's about time we did a team up. Come on.
No, Eve's gonna have to.
But it's like if Nolan has the one little piece of humanity of his son, the one little piece, if he can trust him, maybe, you know, killing him, if killing him's impossible, right? If killing him is impossible, maybe let him off scot-free just for this so he doesn't destroy the world. I'm not saying it's the best thing.
Call it off. Mark's in there.
Can't do that, Debbie.
Why not?
Nolan killed the Guardians. He killed Donald. He shrugged off everything I've thrown at him, and now I don't know if Mark is with his father or against him. So I can't call off the one thing that might stop them both.
That's sound logic.
Always hated you.
That's why I hate me too.
You're biased, Debbie. Well, that's fine. That's understandable.
What now? I don't know. He should just be alive. Not.
If he's just plain dead.
What are you doing? Even Frankenstein needed an extra kick to come to life. 1, he's not Frankenstein. 2, it was lightning and not whatever you're doing.
3, it wasn't actually
it was only
described
in the movie version. I know.
They
This
know.
also feels good.
You don't. He keeps it very secret.
Murdered.
What it actually was in the movie. It was lightning. This is how he got his power.
Has he actually been a? It was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
wow,
what we're
damn.
seeing. Did he kill Lincoln? What the hell was that?
Activate the collar. You're gonna destroy Robot and the new Guardians of the Globe for us.
Seriously?
Wrong target. Wrong target. This is gonna fuck everything up. Oh, he's just too strong. So much for that.
Where is Omni-Man?
Oh.
Where is he?
Okay.
What? This is the guy we need right now. This is good. This is good.
He's pissed.
I mean, he got killed.
Yeah, yeah. Schematics. Why did they bury him? They gave him a hero funeral and they buried him? Even though he's called the Immortal?
Yeah, I feel like they didn't try hard enough to bring him back to life.
Apparently, they say Cecil tried. They say Cecil tried, but Cecil's an idiot, I guess. They aren't as skilled at that, but I don't know.
Cecil sent it after me.
Cecil?
No, he's gonna try and like.
There's so
Work
much
his
you
magic.
don't know, Mark.
What? Okay.
There's a new contact approaching Omni-Man and Invincible. Mach 3.
God damn it, I told Eve to stay away.
It's not Adam Eve.
Oh shit! Oh, he's just throwing him into space? Where did this guy get his powers from? It's so
Isn't that
that's so
weird?
I know, but like was it God? Like what was it?
Aliens?
Time traveling aliens who knew what Omni-Man was bad and he's the only. And now for some reason he's really pissed off at Omni-Man.
You betrayed us!
You should have stayed dead.
Oh my god. This is going a lot better than I thought it would, but hopefully Mark can get told what happened and at least step back.
Yeah.
At least step back and let them both focus on Omni-Man. He's going for the power lines?
Shit.
Holy shit.
I'll kill you!
I honestly doubt it.
No.
Yes! 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 Get one. Put the other thumb in the other. Just get one. Oh!
Mark, we need to talk.
They needed to make him look super fucking evil. Oh boy. That is an episode right there.
That was a crazy episode.
That is a frickin' episode. What'd you think of that banger of an episode. What should we talk about first of all?
I know, that's what I was thinking about. Should we talk about Robot first?
Robot. So, it is very weird that of all the people, he chose Rex just because Monster Girl had somewhat of an interest in him, and it was his best guess of like someone that would be attractive for her.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. It's especially weird because he stole his DNA. That's extra fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
and
that's
not
generally
even
messed
like,
up.
and the thing is it's like, if he, like, there's not really any way that he could ethically just steal someone's DNA and like use it. But if he had gone to like the other side of the world and like found someone random who would never meet him in real life, and it's that thing is like if they saw him on TV as like being a superhero, they'd be like, oh wow, that guy kind of looks like you know?
Instead, yeah.
Instead, you pick someone that's on your team that you're gonna see every day, and then you just roll in there as like the 12-year-old version of them. That's kind of that's a messed up thing to do, regardless, you know?
Yeah, it is messed up, and it's just, I mean, the whole thing's messed up. I guess the intention is it, because like it's because he like fell in love with Monster Girl.
Yeah.
So then like everything that came after that, it wasn't just like, oh, my body is suffering and I really want peace, so I did all these things and tried to make it right as best as I can because I felt trapped in this way. And they're just like, okay, well, that's like kind of a noble intention in a way. It's selfish, but it's not like weird. The fact that it's because you wanted to like woo this other girl, and like so you did the specific set, like it changes kind of the whole vibe.
It does, and it's not like because he could have been like, oh, I picked Rex because I have access to all of his medical information, and I know that he is like extremely strong, has no potential for diseases.
Yeah.
His body is very resilient, and I chose that because that's what would allow me to like.
Like if you can
proceed
right?
with my mission the best, but that wasn't the reason, you know? It's not just like, oh, well, I know he's already a superhero, so he's like, his body is fit to go through what I will need to go through in this position.
Yeah,
and
so what?
It's and then he puts himself in like a child's body so that he can be more relatable to her, because he already related to her as someone who is like trapped in a different body, but then he went and put himself in like the same position as her.
Yeah.
And then she's just kind of like, well, that's just kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, but she seemed to get over pretty quick as she was holding his hand at the end. So.
Yeah.
So, whatever. What do you say about that? Robot's still a great character. He's still probably my favorite character other than, I mean, like, I don't agree with what Nolan's doing at all, but he's definitely the most interesting character.
Mm-hmm. And with Robot, it does seem to be more along the lines of what I was saying of, like, he doesn't even really he didn't have a plan past what he was doing, and he wasn't, like, trying to, like, he didn't have any grand master plan other than get himself a new body. And then, like, that was kind of it.
Yeah.
And then he's rolling in like, yeah, guys, I did it. And they're all like, I mean, yeah, you did that.
Yeah. If only the Immortal... So, moving on. If only the Immortal was not blinded by searing white-hot rage and actually thought about it for a second and went to Cecil to hopefully, like, I don't know, get some sort of upgrade or, like, come up with a strategy, because he didn't even know if Cecil knew. He woke up with so pissed, one track mind, go kill Omni-Man. Because he was, like, he still was in the moment. Like, a second ago, he was a head rolling on the floor, and now he wakes up and, he's still in that energy. So, if only he was like, I gotta tell Cecil, we gotta figure out a plan. Instead, he's like, fucking Omni-Man, rah! And just instantly goes and dies again.
Really, the real problem is that Mark was here, because if Mark wasn't here, then
it would've been over.
The Immortal would have been able to be like throwing Omni-Man at that creature, and then Omni-Man would get away from the creature, and then he could like punch, like he could team up with that to take him down. And I just wish that they had been. It was so frustrating with them not being able to get a hold of Mark. It's like everything that could go wrong in terms of contacting him kept happening, and it's just like, just fucking tell him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really dumb they didn't even try to call Eve
Yeah,
before.
that's what was so dumb.
That's
They're like,
stupid.
oh, he's back with Eve. And I'm like, so
you know
I
Eve
thought,
has a
I
cell
thought that
phone.
there was for some reason that she didn't have her phone. Like, you had already tried that. Like, that was phase 1 as they've been hanging out for like half an hour
Apparently
before
they didn't
this.
think of that. They didn't even think of calling Eve.
That makes me so angry. And then his mom was like, "Oh, call her now." It's like, you could have called her the entire time.
You've been here for like an hour.
while he was catching, you know, that part was very convenient in terms of like letting him get there.
Yeah, it was. And then Omni-Man. I mean, with all the stuff with Nolan. I mean, what else is there to say? I really find it interesting that like when he's with Cecil, the one person who like kind of gets him more than anyone else, and like all bets are off, he literally can't say the reason because that's how pathetic the reason is. He can't, like, Cecil's like, there is no reason. It's all ego, right? Like, unless there's something we missed.
Yeah, and
like Cecil's like giving it, like asking him multiple times, like, you know, just why.
And then
like,
that's the thing with his family too. How he goes home, his wife calls him out, is like, I know you murdered these people. Like they were your friends. Well, at least they were my friends, kind of thing. Like, you know, like what the hell is wrong with you? And then he's just like, he doesn't, and I think that is very telling. It's like that he doesn't even try to make up a story.
Yeah.
He just thinks that he is so great in her life that he can just be like, yeah, trust me, I did it, and like be pretty much completely honest with her, and that she will still like come back to him in the end. You know?
I don't think it's I don't think it's a matter of belief. I think that it's like I think he's thinking like, what is our life gonna be like after this? Like if she finds out my darkest secret, what, like, if I tell a fake story, I have to live a lie forever? Like, he went from everything just easy breezy, cover girl, to having to live this stressful lie and lie about everything and make up stories and cover his ass and all this stuff. Is he going to do that forever? Or, you know, is he going to be able to live like this forever? I think he's thinking like, I can't live like this forever. I want my normal family back. I want my normal life back, but I want things to be like, you know, me. But he's not going to live a lie. So it's the only way he has is just like, you have to trust me, or, you know, we're stronger than that. You have to trust me. Because if she just says, okay, I know all this, let's continue living our life and just forget about it or understand it and move on, then, you know, I don't have to lie. I don't have to be stressed out and living this lie all the time. I think that's what it is. So like that was the moment of truth where I think he realized maybe he didn't want to be lying and covering his ass all the time, because that's not a fun life. That's not a chill life with his wife and son. It's a full, you know, serial killer thing where he has to like hide, Dexter mode, where he has to hide his blood samples and shit. Like he has to constantly cover for himself, and I don't think he wants that. I think that I still think there's a possibility that like he killed them for a reason, or there's whether it's not a justifiable reason. Like I think that it's probably his ego, but like I think there's maybe some mystery more with like his planet or something, like his backstory that we don't fully get. There's either a piece we're missing, or he's just fully egotistical, which I think is honestly just as likely, if not more likely. I don't know, but I think that's why that's what that whole conversation was. It wasn't like, I don't know. I think that he just doesn't want to be living this lie anymore. He doesn't want to keep doing this. If everybody knows, if all bets are off, then, you know, I can't. I'm not gonna pile more and more lies and be constantly covering myself for the rest of my life, or for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then with Mark, and he's like they're like fighting together, and he's helping to save him and stuff. And it was so crazy as well to see him rehearsing his conversation of like, Mark, I need to tell you something. I killed them, but you gotta believe me. Like, when he's just like rehearsing this whole thing. Yeah. Just preemptively, it's just crazy. And then you just kind of wonder of like how many times he like does that, like when he's like, after he kills all, like when he's thinking about stuff, how many times when he needs to like lie about something, he just like flies off to Mount Everest and like practices up a little bit to like get the perfect charismatic conversation going where he can just like say all the right things and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what's gonna happen if it, like, because Mark's just like, what the hell was
Judging
that?
from the thumbnail that popped up and
I
basically
didn't
spoiled
see.
us for the next episode. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, don't say I didn't see.
Oh, you didn't see. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Okay. I was just gonna ask if you wanted to mention anything about the Amber stuff, or if you were just.
Fuck Amber. No. I don't care about her. I don't like her. I just the fact. Oh yeah, right. Because the she knew the whole time. How worse can you make a character? And the worst part is I don't even think the show is trying to make her unlikable. Like that's the thing is she is so unlikable. Every time any character addresses her, she acts like she's too good for it. Like oh my god, with this shit again. What do you need? And then like there was literally that one guy who like approached her in the hallway, was like, what do you want? And he's just like, okay, sorry. And she's like, oh no, sorry. Sorry, what's going? I'm Amber. Like it's just like, oh my god, everything she does is so unlikable. And it's like literally last episode I was like, okay, well she didn't know. Like that's the thing is she thinks that Mark is just being a douchebag. And he's just like blowing her off all the time and always has something better to do.
Yeah.
And it's always something. But no, she knew that he was out there saving people's lives and trying to keep his secret identity so he could live a relatively normal life. She figured it out weeks ago. And she still acted like that the whole arc. Like, think about this. When they were fucking fighting, like, she saw Invincible, who she knew was Mark, fighting those cyborgs at the college. Then he goes behind the van, takes off all his shit, puts his normal clothes back on, comes out, hey guys, the police are gonna be here. She's like, oh, and you left us? It's like, if she knew that he didn't leave them and that he was fighting to protect them, then what is this response? Is it just bad writing, or is it just fuck her because she's dumb as hell?
I think the thing is making her, because I think that if she didn't know and it was just like, then when he told her, then it was just too little too late, she felt like, you know.
What are you saying?
I guess I'm saying is like the fact that they made her figure it out. And then, I think it's exactly that. It's like all of the other times where he just didn't tell her, I could understand the feeling of like, oh, he doesn't trust me. He's making up all these excuses. He could just tell me. And like,
I don't understand that.
I guess
I don't know. What kind of an idiot? What are you saying?
I'm saying like I could understand her feeling some kind, like, you know, resentful about that or whatever. But it's so stupid in that last episode where she saw him. I'm saying like that is like the what made it really stupid, because her getting all mad at him in that situation was just such a shitty thing to do when she knew that he almost got his ass kicked.
I wonder, so to make it kind of a meta weird conversation that I don't even know how to fully explain this, but like, so the story arc for this season, right? Like the story arc of like the character growth, right? This might take too long to explain. I think a lot of times in TV, especially Western with a sort of episode, because like we start off inciting incident, like we set the status quo. There's Mark and his dad kills all these people and he's getting his powers and that's a challenge and there's like an ego battle going on here. There's the mom in the middle. Okay, that's like the setting the stage for the conflict. And then now we're getting to the end of the season, a lot of that's coming to fruition. Mm-hmm. You put in a lot of stuff in the middle where like characters sort of act out their character and maybe hint towards the change that they're going to experience later in the story. So it's all of these self-contained little stories where like, okay, we go to college and William's got his boyfriend and this and that, and we find, you know, it's building up towards the conclusion. And we sort of get the characters, they're established, they are who they are, and then there's like moments where we sort of show who they are throughout the whole thing, and maybe little changes here and there. With Amber, it seems like that was supposed to be her relationship to Mark, is that she's like the normal girl, she represents like the normal life that he could have, and he's being torn between both worlds, right? So that's what she is. And it feels like that, like, so then there's all these little stories that are maybe written by different people, maybe, I don't know if it's all in the comic or if it played out exactly like this in the comic, or if it's presented slightly differently. I don't know if if the Amber we see in every episode is like written by the same person with the same intention towards this thing, so then like if you just cut out all these middle episodes and like he meets Amber, they date, they have their problems, and then at the end here she's like, I knew. And so like separate that one scene where she's like, what, well, you just left us? Like, am I making any sense at all?
Yeah.
Am I making any sense at all with like the whole idea of a production of a TV show is kind of what I'm getting at, where like these episodic, like the characters react based on like, you know, here, you're writing for our show. Here's this character, they have this relationship to this character. Let me break down. Here's the Bible of all of our character relationships. So this character reacts in this way. She has these goals and these motivations. You know, she represents, or, you know, like, and then, okay, you writer's room, you go write this thing. And then they say, oh, you just left us? And then we get back to the sort of the A-team writers or whatever, or the main writing squad, and then they have this story where she's just like, I figured out, and so there's like that disconnect. Is the disconnect a product of they didn't write the story properly, or is it a product of it's handed off between different people who like who portray the characters differently on the page, or is it just or I don't know. Or is it just Amber fucking sucks and is a trash character? But the reason why I don't think it's the last one like that they're trying to make her like that is because she does. It seems like they don't write her to be like the heel character. I don't think that they're writing her with the intention of like, oh, Amber's the one that everyone's supposed to hate.
And you can tell that because of the way that the other characters take Amber's side. Like how Eve, and the interesting thing as well is that Mark wasn't being really an asshole, but then in the conversation with Eve, he really was, and in the conversation with his friend, where he is like, okay, so your absolute best friend in the world who has like found out you're super, like he's been with you through everything. Now it's all on the table. His boyfriend or like guy that he like could have started dating if this had gone well, just got, you know, fucked up for the rest of his life. He got like almost all of his limbs amputated. He got stuff implanted in his head. He's got turned into a cyborg, an extremely traumatic and horrific event. And you are going to complain to him about your breakup with a girl who is still alive and completely fine.
Yeah.
And she just didn't want to date you anymore. No matter what the reason was, it's like your problems in this moment and are nowhere close to what your friend is dealing with. And then the fact that you are like, oh, I have to go and like talk to someone else because you're not cutting it for me. It's like,
okay, you're 100% right. The weird problem I have with that scene is that William was the same. Like he was just like, oh, it's kind of sucks my boyfriend's like this, and he's just like kind of being flippant about it. And that just seems like the Marvelization of Western media.
Yeah, I was also gonna bring that up of like William didn't seem to care too much, which was kind of weird because even if like you weren't dating that person or didn't care about them, like you just witnessed something horrendous. And Mark has seen a lot of horrendous things. He's been in Aliens Attacks. He saw that old lady get all fucked up and everything, and it really messed with him.
Yeah.
And he has like seen that enough times that he can be desensitized to it. But like William is just a dude, and like I think maybe it could have been interesting to like if William had been a bit more emotional and like maybe instead of Mark just leaving and William kind of just being like, okay, or like trying to help Mark through that, if we maybe could have seen a bit more of tension of like William getting upset because Mark is like, even if he, like if William was maybe trying to like talk about his things and then Mark was like going on about Amber, and then William like tries to help Mark out a little bit and then tries to like get something in return, and then Mark keeps making it about his problems, and then there was tension that way. I think that maybe that could have been more interesting.
Because here's what they might be trying to do is like, because I think at this point it's supposed to be clear to the audience, like again, thinking from like what is the show trying to communicate, and if the show has like an intention, like the writers or the show and the themes and everything, if there's like an intention, how do they portray that on screen? If the audience at this point, if the showrunners or the writers or whatever can be reasonably sure that they've given enough hints to the audience that Nolan's motivation is that he's egotistical and that he is, you know, with all the scenes and foreshadowing and stuff like that. Because like we were pretty sure, but like just we can't count on ourselves because we're watching it with a certain perspective. So like the show is operating, if the show is operating from a certain perspective that the audience knows that Nolan is like an egomaniac and he killed them because he wants to be the star of the show, and that's what Nolan represents. And now we're getting into a part, so that's to the side. Now we're getting to a part where Mark has been sort of built up as the one thing that's going to have to correct that.
Mhm.
So what they might have been doing with all of that information like established and provided they're confident that the audience can pick up on all that, the general audience viewer who maybe isn't paying as much attention as we are, if they can pick up on all that, if the show knows that, are they trying to set up Mark to like, are they trying to make us, the audience, or the average audience viewer, a little more unsure about where Mark's loyalties lie? Make him a little bit more conflicted. Maybe, like, test the boundary of, like, oh, he's being a little bit more like his dad here. Like, he's being a little bit egotistical. He's being a little bit of an asshole. In these final moments, like, he's been trying to do the right thing and be a human. He's been trying to connect to his human side, but then his, like, evil alien side is, like, creeping in where he's disconnected from, like, the problems of his peers and, like, not empathetic towards his friend and not empathetic towards his, or trying to caring more about his breakup than all the stuff with his friend, or caring more about his problems than going off and saving. He sees an explosion, this guy's just like, that's not my problem. Very similar to how his dad. I think that's maybe what they're trying to convey here, in which case it makes a little bit more sense. My only problem is in that conversation with William wasn't as pissed off as I think I would be if my boyfriend just like if my friend was acting like that after that. You know what I mean? Like I don't think William is being written as a real person enough to justify me viewing this as like an exchange of realistic responses and reactions. You know what I'm saying? Like if Mark is if you're trying to convey that's realistic with like everything we know about Mark's dad, everything we know about Mark's character arc up to this point, if he's being flippant to communicate this like weirdness, and like possibly being more like his dad in these final moments before that is his relationship with his dad is tested, that makes sense. But in order for me to take that seriously, you have to make me take William seriously and his problems seriously. If he's reacting like his problems aren't very serious, then I feel weird about the whole situation.
And that's the other thing. It's like, if William was like clearly upset, even if he was trying to hide it or like was like working through it in his own way of like, you know, being lighthearted, but like you could clearly tell that he was really messed up, you know? Yeah. And I feel like then, it would have highlighted Mark's behavior as being way more selfish and like more.
Because it was selfish, but is it selfish just because it's weirdly written, or like because he's acting a weird way, or because you know?
And that's the other thing as well with his conversation with Eve when she tries to talk to him and he's just like just dismissing her again and again and again. And I think what really I think it again that it kind of loops around to the Amber thing again, is if they had made her a little bit more likable and made her side more justified.
Exactly. Yes,
because if Amber had been 100% completely justified in being like, yeah, Mark, you were shitty to me. And if I was on her side, then it would make Mark be like, okay, he had to like jump through some mental hoops to like believe that he was in the wrong, and then with multiple people telling him that he was in the wrong, and then he still won't believe it. But me as the audience, I'm like, you wanna know what?
Mark was totally cool.
Fine. Mark was
Amber's
fine.
Amber's just a bitch 100% of the time. So you're 100% on his side.
Yeah.
You know, like, and there's no leeway. Like, I feel like that's the problem with Amber, is it's not just that she's a bitch or that she's unlikable. It's that like is antithetical to what they're trying to, the sort of inner conflict they're trying to create in Mark and like in relation to his dad. So like if we're never on her side and he's never an asshole and there's not that like kind of interplay or like give and take with him, he's just 100% like he's just trying to help people and he's struggling and he's being torn in two different directions. But it's really just like I just never want to see Amber, you know?
And that's the thing as well with that conversation with Eve and Amber Eve like really was trying to help out Mark, but also she talked to Mark and earlier on, and that's what they kind of loop back around to in this conversation. She's just like, I told you either need to like you need to make a decision. Are you going to tell her or are you not going to tell her? If you're going to tell her, then you trust her and you're going to keep dating her and you're going to try and make it work. And if you don't trust her and you don't want to tell her, then you should break up with her, because this is what you're doing isn't fair. Of like stringing her along and when you like that's him like not being fully in on the relationship.
Yeah.
So I do get that, but I think and that's why I think that Amber being unlikable is the problem.
Yes.
Because if she had just been a little bit different, maybe a little bit less on his back in that last scene, or a little bit more I don't know. Like,
I think they were trying to go. I think with Amber, like they didn't want to make her. I think what they were trying to do with Amber was they didn't want to make her like another
weak
Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to make her just like, oh, the damsel in distress cute. Like she's the human girl who's like cute and like does the right thing all the time, and she's just trying to be a good person, and she's just trying to be a good, quiet, mousy girl that like represents the humanity in Mark, like I think that they wanted to do that, but because it's like, a modern series and everything, they want to portray the human normal person girl character as like kind of a badass, and she talks back and she doesn't stay quiet and she does all this, but there's a fine line when you do something like that, because she still needs to be likable. And I think they thought they were making her likable, and that's I think why she's so unlikable, is because I think the creators thought that they were making like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna root for Amber. She's got no powers and she's out on the outside, but she tells it like it is. A good example of another character on the show who's like that is Debbie. And Debbie was being kind of annoying here, but she's biased and it's her family. So like she's being kind of a dick to Cecil, but like, you call off that thing now. Like, she's not thinking of the bigger picture, she's thinking of her family. So like, it makes sense. But Debbie is a character where I like her, even though she is like the headstrong, like, more of a modern, woman. Like she takes charge, and she's like the head of the household, and she doesn't take shit from these superhumans. She'll like, is this the kind of person you want to be now? You're gonna talk shit to me just because I have no powers?
Slam the door in his face when he could come kill you in like 2 seconds.
So when she's being kind of like bitchy, she's just like talking back. She doesn't come off as like, ugh, like fuck you. Like she comes off as like, yeah, she's standing her ground. She is like a strong, independent woman who's still likable, so like I feel like those characters, and I think maybe that's partly what they're trying to do as well, is the fact that Amber is like his mom kind of is there's a parallel there. I think that there's something there for sure. It's just that something with Amber, Amber just sucks, dude. Something about her. It just
didn't work, and it is kind of disappointing when you like really lay it all out of like what the arc like was, and like what all these things are showing,
what it was on
and then
paper
it's just
versus
like,
how it came out.
If I didn't like stop and think about this, I might have kind of missed what it seems like they were actually trying to accomplish with this episode, and like with everything leading up to it.
It seems like there was a lot that they were trying to communicate, but like the one flaw of just Amber being annoying and not likable really like overshadows all of the real like character work that's being done for Mark leading up to this confrontation, because that's all it's about. It's about like showing, it's a the problem is I think also with the Amber shit is it's like they're trying to, it's like what we were saying earlier on in this show, like I guess in episode 3 is when we first mentioned it, or maybe in episode 1 even, of just like, are we a Marvel parody, or are we just trying to be Marvel? Like, are we making fun of these tropes and these things, or are we just using the parody as an excuse to kind of do them and then make it more edgy and call it a parody in the end? This like weird loop of like post-irony weirdness. Are you emulating it? Are you paying homage to it? Are you making fun of it? Are you using it to say a greater point? Are you doing multiple of those things at once? Because I feel like if you just chose what you're doing, so that's like what Amber's thing is too, is it's just what I said, where it's, it's Spider-Man being pulled in multiple directions. Like, is he gonna be with Mary Jane and be a normal guy and like marry her, or is he gonna fucking, go fight the Green Goblin or whatever? Like, he's being torn between two worlds. So they're using that like classic, very basic superhero alter ego plotline, or Lois Lane, same shit. Like, they're using this basic framework to try and tell a non-basic story. So then they try to change it in some way by changing the characters or changing the dynamic or making it more modern in some ways. And then it just falls flat because you're not picking your lane. You're not picking what you're doing, and I think that's maybe a theory of mine. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what it feels like to me. It feels like when the show's really strong, it's being its own thing, and it's being more of a parody or a deconstruction. And when it's at its worst, it's thinking that it's being a deconstruction by saying fuck in the middle of a thing and swearing or being a little bit gory, when it's just a gory substitute for the same thing that they are trying to deconstruct. I think
it also just is, what the strong points of this story, even the scene with a robot at the start of this episode was one of the high points of this story.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. We should have talked about that earlier.
It was so sad.
It was so good.
And so emotional, just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I liked Robot, but I wasn't super invested.
I was. I love Robot. I fully bought that scene.
No, I'm saying that scene really drew me in.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't set up, you're saying, or what?
I'm saying it was, but I'm saying that scene was everything in Robot's story worked really well towards that scene. There was just enough teasing, just enough red herrings, just enough this and that made his arc over the course of the season really worthwhile and really work.
Yeah.
And because it was kind of simple and because it was off to the side, there was still some mystery around it. There, you could figure out, oh, that's probably his real body, and then it is, and then he gets changed over, and then his real body dies. But because of the way the mind transfer thing works, it's this horrible thing of you're just the same person. You didn't know what you were gonna wake up as, and that version of him just woke up as the wrong one, basically, and it's this tragic situation, and then he comes in, and it's just that is working really well. And in a lot of, I think the reason why Nolan is such a good character is because a lot of the scenes with him aren't trying to reference anything or do anything. It's just It's him, and also same with Debbie, is they aren't trying to do anything. It's just them behave. It's a very strong character, and they're acting according to their character. Whereas something with Amber and William and some of the other side characters, they are just the embodiment of their side character placeholder selves, that are accomplishing their task for the sake of the main character. Yeah. But I don't feel a lot towards him. It's the same thing with William and his weird doesn't seem to care about anything, even in these crazy situations. And sometimes it's funny, but sometimes I guess it is a funny show and it is a comedy a lot of times, but then sometimes I feel it hurts it. In the last episode when he's oh, remember when we, had sex at the beach or whatever, he was talking about, and it's haha, it's kind of funny, but it's also this is a really tragic and horrible situation. And
I think he was trying to appeal to his humanity.
He was trying. I don't
think he was just trying to be fun. I think that's just the tone of his voice, and maybe it's a voice director thing where William and maybe it's a story planning, because it's with animation here. It's they record the vocals first. I don't know, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. It could just be the.
I think that I think you just don't like William's actor and the way his voice sounds. I think what they were doing was pretty clear, but I think with William in general, it's just that it might be an acting thing or a direction thing or something. Something about William just does not come off as serious, no matter how serious the situation is. Yeah, maybe there's a convention in that in Western animation studios not animating him he's pissed off, or maybe they get the voice lines, the animators, and they're okay, well, he doesn't sound very pissed off, so I'm not going to animate him like he's pissed off. I don't know. I need to know more about the breakdown of their workflow, I guess. But that's so I can't speak too much on that, but I don't know. Yeah, one thing, I think that's why I like Robot more is because he's not contributing directly to Mark's story. Robot is kind of a separate thing at this point.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing.
I think that's why he comes off as a better character, is because he's not like Amber or Eve or all these other people that are just trying to bring something out of Mark and his sort of conflict with his dad. He's doing his own thing, and it'll probably come to fruition either in the next episode or in the next season. Probably Robot seems to be, and all those guys seem to be set up for later shit. Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll see more how that goes next time. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.